co-own like 5 times in the first 15 minutes. Oh, my lunar teammate, my co-founder, blah, Brianna, my lunar owl mate, blah, blah, blah. This got brought up over and over and over again. And I'm sure she thought, well, this is my way to shade the people that says there's a conflict of interest. No, it was a great way to prove everybody right. It's a great way to prove everybody right. And keep in mind, ESPN doesn't broadcast.
The Indiana Fever suffered a devastating defeat against the Golden State Valkyries in what can only be described as a complete organizational breakdown. The 80-61 loss represents far more than just another defeat. It exposes fundamental issues with coaching strategy and team preparation that have become impossible to ignore. Stephanie White's defenders must now confront harsh reality. The squad continues to lack any coherent offensive structure. Previously, the team had found success through pick-and-roll sequences between Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston, typically generating early momentum in first halves. Clark would rack up multiple assists while Boston established position in the post. That effective partnership has mysteriously vanished from the playbook.
Literally, like, it benefits. It is a conflict of interest. So, this literally happened on Twitter. So, WNBA threads, like, and by the way, if you want to, it's not even thread, if you want to see the most not mad stuff ever, the most, the most dumb stuff you will ever see is on WNBA threads. But you guys see it. Do you think
the supposed defensive expertise attributed to White proved non-existent during this contest. Golden State orchestrated devastating scoring streaks, including 2 separate 9-0 runs, plus a crushing 12-1 surge. Such defensive collapses are inexcusable for any professional basketball team, particularly when occurring at home. The consecutive home defeats have reached concerning levels, while the Valkyries deserve recognition as a legitimate franchise. Displaying energy, teamwork, and solid coaching, their dominance reveals deeper problems within Indiana's program. The visitors demonstrated superior preparation and execution throughout.
Cast unrivaled games at all. They've got no interest in Unrivaled blowing up because they don't have the rights to any games. They're not benefited by it. But that was a WNBA product, and it became a promotional tool for another league. You're trying to tell me NAPHEESA Collier and Brianna Stewart have the best interest of the WNBA players?
This performance pales in comparison to previous coaching approaches. Former coach Christy Sides, despite her limitations, would have maximized Clark's offensive opportunities through consistent ball movement and shooting attempts. The current system appears to stifle the team's primary playmaker. The final 2 minutes painted a disturbing picture. Both Clark and Lexi Hull appeared completely demoralized, their competitive spirit seemingly crushed by the overwhelming deficit. The 19-point margin understates the actual gap between these franchises.
Do you guys see it? Do y'all think the players will really do a strike if the league doesn't make some changes? Lunar Owls BC is Fee Collier's team in Unrivaled. And by the way, Fee Collier is clearly not running this page. Fee Collier is clearly not running this page. I'm telling you this right now. Like, Fee Collier is clearly not running it. But at the end of the day,
Indiana's shooting struggles reached catastrophic levels at 31% from the field. Golden State's Kayla Thornton managed 18 points despite her own poor shooting performance, 4 of 15. Had she found her rhythm, the margin could have stretched to 25 or 30 points, making this embarrassment even more severe. Clark's statistical line of 6 assists and 5 rebounds came primarily during the opening quarter. The coaching staff deployed bizarre lineups throughout, including positioning Clark at small forward while Lexi McDonald handled point guard duties. This decision makes little sense given Clark's recent injury recovery and natural position requirements.
Collier and Brianna Stewart have the best interest of the WNBA players. And look, the league and the players have to coexist. I mean, this is wild. It really is. But this is a screenshot. That right there is an Unrivaled shirt. That's an unrivaled logo on Collier's in her screenshot. This is the split screen from the WNBA ESPN.
The few bright spots included Clark's three-point shooting, which showed improvement compared to recent outings. She connected on several long-range attempts, including one that temporarily cut the deficit to 52-40. Her signature floater also appeared effective when given opportunities. A steal by Boston led to one of Clark's better plays, but such moments remained isolated incidents. No player performed adequately during this contest. Even role players like Michaela Timpson managed only 10 points and 6 rebounds despite decent shooting percentages. The team's overall field goal percentages were abysmal across the board: 31%, 23%, 33%, and 25% from various players. Natasha Howard's playing time raises additional questions. Her 16 minutes seem insufficient for a player of her caliber. Strange rotation decisions affected multiple key players, with Clark, Boston, and Howard all spending extended periods on the bench simultaneously.
But at the end of the day, somebody's running this page, and it is obviously Lunar LSBC. And I mean this when I say this, I'm living in hope that this is a random person. But the fact that the tweets were deleted as soon as this started getting sent around. As soon as this started getting sent around, it got deleted. Yes, definitely see it. Also, see demands being met because of last year's and this year's draft class. WNBA is definitely wanting to.
The coaching staff's decision to start Clark at small forward while she works back from injury defies logical explanation. By the fourth quarter, Boston had logged only 20 minutes compared to McDonald's 27, highlighting questionable personnel management. These struggles have unfortunately reopened debates comparing Clark to other players, reducing her impact to manufactured controversies. White's coaching approach has failed to inspire confidence, and her supporters have lost credibility through these repeated failures. Teams with talent can occasionally elevate their performance against elite opponents like the Liberty Lynx or Aces. However, this squad appears consistently unprepared for competition, particularly at home where fan support should provide additional motivation.
Screenshot. This is the split screen from the WNBA ESPN broadcast last night during the WNBA draft. And unbelievable. It really was. I was like, wow, this is embarrassing for the WNBA. And if I'm the commissioner, if I'm the owners, I am furious. I'd be like, you know what? We'll let y'all lock yourselves out. How about we lock the doors and go under? You've never.
The offensive production remains unacceptable, with the team struggling to reach even 50 points in some stretches. Such output indicates systemic problems that extend beyond individual player performance.
Definitely see it. Also, see demands being met because of last year's and this year's draft class. WNBA is definitely wanting to capitalize on the momentum. And whatever about this, this is one thing. This is immediately where you're like, you know what, conflict of interest. Probably shouldn't be saying it, but there's nothing too, incriminating in that. When it does happen, will we be getting an extended, unrivaled season? Our same thoughts exactly. Cheering.
The Indiana Fever's recent performance issues can be traced directly to questionable roster decisions that have disrupted team chemistry and player effectiveness. The organization's approach to lineup management has created unnecessary complications that are undermining their competitive potential. The most significant tactical error involves removing Lexi Hull from the starting five. Hull had established herself as a reliable starter following Joanna Bonner's injury, providing consistent production and fitting seamlessly into the team's offensive system. Her removal has created a ripple effect that has damaged the squad's overall cohesion.
You've never turned a profit for us. So you're not as a valuable commodity as you must think you are. Wow, it was such an embarrassment to what was supposed to be this huge promotion for the league, for the Indiana Fever. This is really insulting to Indiana and the Indiana Fever. The All-Star game is going on in their city. And she gave them a middle finger by talking about the unrivaled league.
The decision to replace Hull with Aria McDonald represents a fundamental misunderstanding of player roles and team dynamics. McDonald and Hull operate with completely different playing styles, making this substitution particularly disruptive. McDonald's ball-dominant approach conflicts with the team's established rhythm and spacing requirements. McDonald's strengths are better suited for a bench role where she can provide energy and scoring punch in shorter bursts. Her skill set thrives when she can take control of possessions without interfering with the primary offensive flow. Forcing her into a starting position creates unnecessary complications for all players involved.
You have an official team, somebody posting excited about a WNBA season being cancelled and saying when it does happen, and you have an official team saying our thoughts exactly with cheering. Oh my god. Oh my god. Like, and by the way, I'm not saying Stewie or what's her name, or Fee have anything to do with this.
The coaching staff appears to have made this change without adequate preparation or practice time. The team's performance suggested they had not worked extensively with this new configuration, leading to obvious confusion and poor execution during crucial moments. Professional basketball requires players to understand and embrace their designated roles within the team structure. When everyone operates within their optimal position, the entire system functions efficiently. McDonald had found success as a reserve player, contributing meaningfully while understanding her specific responsibilities.
Talking about the Unrivaled League, I got to give Caitlin Clark credit. That trading Cheryl Reeves hating ass off her team was beautiful. It was beautiful. So, I'm not the only one bringing this up either. I'm not the only one. I say again, as a fan, Unrivaled owners, especially Unrivaled co-founders, NAPHEESA Collier and Brianna Stewart, have no business being involved in CBA negotiations for the
Workplace analogies apply directly to basketball team construction. Kitchen staff members have distinct roles. Cooks handle food preparation while dishwashers maintain cleanliness. Neither position holder would succeed if asked to perform the other's duties during peak service hours. Similarly, basketball players perform best when operating within their areas of expertise. The timing of these lineup changes raises additional concerns. Making significant adjustments during competitive games rather than implementing them gradually through practice sessions demonstrates poor planning and execution. Such decisions often indicate deeper organizational issues.
Or Fee have anything to do with this. I don't think they've anything to do. I think they are pissed at this. I think they are pissed. Like, they are pissed at this whole thing. There's no way they're happy about it. And by the way, that's fine. Like, I'm not blaming the two of them. No question about it. I'm not blaming the two of them for this. They are probably absolutely pissed. They're probably like, you are kidding me. The random dude.
Clark's positioning presents another troubling development. Moving her to small forward while she recovers from injury defies conventional basketball wisdom. Point guards returning from injuries typically need to regain their rhythm in familiar positions rather than adapting to new responsibilities. Several factors may be influencing these decisions beyond pure basketball considerations. The coaching staff's connections to traditional basketball philosophies might be clashing with modern playing styles. Some veteran coaches struggle to adapt their systems to accommodate contemporary player skill sets. The organization's relationship with media entities could also be affecting decision-making processes. External pressures and opinions sometimes influence coaching choices in ways that don't serve the team's best interests on the court.
Being involved in CBA negotiations for the WNBA, they are compromised, and every person realizes this, but the WNBA allows it for some reason. This is going to backfire. Fees genuinely thinks her being on the CBA negotiations is not a conflict of interest, given she spent a half an hour pushing Unrivaled during the WNBA draft. Shaking my head.
Clark's dynamic playing style and fan engagement approach represents a departure from traditional women's basketball culture. Her celebrations, crowd interactions, and overall energy level have generated mixed reactions from basketball purists who prefer more conservative approaches. This generational divide between old-school coaching philosophies and modern player development creates tension that affects team performance. Veteran coaches sometimes resist embracing new methodologies that could maximize their players' potential. The fan base clearly recognizes these issues and expects organizational accountability. Professional sports teams must respond to supporter concerns, particularly when those concerns align with obvious performance problems visible during games.
The random dude that we're paying £100 a week to run our social medias for each page is out there saying that they would love for the WNBA season to be cancelled. Like, they are a competing league. They're a competing league because everyone's like, oh, they don't play at the same time. Because let's be real. If the WNBA season gets cancelled, Unrivaled is going to go into the WNBA season. They are going to...
Future coaching decisions will likely need to address these fundamental philosophical differences. The organization must decide whether to embrace modern basketball evolution or continue adhering to traditional approaches that may limit their competitive ceiling. McDonald's individual talents deserve recognition despite the current misuse of her abilities. She possesses genuine basketball skills that can contribute significantly when properly utilized. The issue lies not with her capabilities, but with the inappropriate application of those skills. Team chemistry requires months or even years to develop properly. Disrupting established relationships and playing patterns without compelling reasons damages the trust and communication necessary for championship-level performance.
During the WNBA draft, shaking my head, wearing an Unrivaled shirt for the WNBA draft, but wants to pretend there's no conflict of interest in CBA negotiations. Laugh out loud. I mean, wow. We still pretending the WNBA doesn't have a conflict of interest with Unrivaled after NAPHEESA shamelessly self-promoted in the All-Star Game draft?
The organization faces a critical decision point regarding their future direction. They can either commit to maximizing their current roster's potential through appropriate role assignments, or continue making changes that prioritize other considerations over winning basketball games. Player development suffers when individuals are placed in positions that don't match their natural abilities. McDonald's growth as a professional could be stunted if she continues being asked to perform duties outside her optimal skill set.
Is going to go into the WNBA season. They are going to get the money for that. If the WNBA season gets cancelled, they are probably going to start Unrivaled. They'll probably try to find a way to start Unrivaled later. They will, instead of finishing in the middle of March, they will probably go and try to get other TV deals. They would literally try to change the entire league to a 5v5, change everything, and they would probably have an Unrivaled rookie draft, allowing certain invited players to join midway through the season from college.
The coaching staff must recognize that effective leadership sometimes requires difficult decisions about player usage. Admitting that certain experimental approaches have failed takes courage, but ultimately serves the team's long-term interests better than stubborn adherence to unsuccessful strategies. Professional basketball success depends on maximizing every player's contributions within a cohesive system. The current approach appears to be limiting multiple players' effectiveness while creating unnecessary complications that affect overall team performance.